most of us changing on over to rain as we go through the day. Scattered rain around 45. It'll taper off tonight, but linger into early tomorrow morning. Tonight, 44. Tomorrow, up near 60 with a cloudy sky in the afternoon. From the Weather Channel, meteorologist Ray Staging on WMAL.
35 at Reagan National. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plank.
The U.S. launched joint military strikes with Israel against Iran over the weekend in Operation Epic Fury. Operation Epic Fury, is it a missile strike or a new Mountain Dew? Folks, this was even more successful than Operation Baja Blast.
That's a professional level comedy 2026, New York City, New York. Democrats, they're just not as funny as they used to be. However, they do love murder. You want to know why the Democrats love Iran more than the United States? And Democrats do love Iran more than the United States. They love terrorism. They love mass murder. They love brutality. How many tens of thousands of Iranian people did the regime murder just in the last few weeks? The estimates are at a bare minimum 25,000 Iranian people, probably more likely 30,000. That'd be 5,000 more than 25,000. Maybe 35,000. That's a town, a not terribly tiny town. In America, 35,000 people that they murdered. And the Democrats are cheering them on. Yeah, we're with the Ayatollah. We're with the number one terrorists in the world. We're with the bad guys because, they understand the bad guys. They're with the bad guys. And I've got to tell you, my best girl and I kicking stuff around this morning. And those wacky Democrats, I like to say they love murder, and they do. And I point out the reasons why I say things like that from time to time because they keep proving it over and over again, don't they? But today there's a great one. The New York Post. The New York Post has the story today. Luigi, the musical. Luigi, the musical. That's what it's called. Luigi Mangione, who murdered the CEO on the sidewalk of New York, assassinated him, stalked him, got the gun, crept up behind him, and before the dawn's early light, and shot him in the back with a pistol and murdered the healthcare insurance CEO. Got to gun him down because they're angry, and the Democrat Party makes them all angry. Luigi Mangione musical, immortalizing accused CEO killer, to premiere on New York stage. And I'm not making this up. This is actually true. They've got the cast, and they got Johnny Stein and Andre Margaritini and Caleb Zarenge, and this is the cast of Luigi the musical. Janie Lucas, they've got them all right there. And they got the poster around, and there he is wearing a hoodie with a backpack, kind of a silhouette, and he's grabbing his face because he's about to murder somebody. Luigi the musical is what the Democrats are producing now. World premiere. They love it. Friday the 13th. You see, June. Isn't that great? And amazing stuff. This is your Democrat Party, and they're emerging. They had planned on starting this last June, but now it's reemerging. Luigi the musical, and they've got a director and producers, and they love murder and they love murderers, and they want their daughters all to date Luigi Mangione. So Luigi the musical coming. Well, it's in New York, and not to normal places where normal people live, but they've got that going, which is good because Democrats, they love that murder. Me, I love that chicken from Popeyes. They love murder. Me, fried chicken. Fried chicken. But they don't love American things. So the Democrats, we've got war going on in the Middle East. if you can believe that. How many times have you heard that said out loud during your lifetime? It goes back to like being 7 years old, I think, the first time. Hey, war in the Middle East, isn't that wacky? Wackadoodle-doo. And the Democrats, they're very much backing Iran because they love terrorism and killers and psychopaths and cross-dressers. They don't have a lot of cross-dressers in Iran. In fact, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, the former president of Iran, who we used to make fun of when he was president, we made fun of him all the time, his nickname, his code name was Stinky Ahmadinejad, because he was famously odoriferous. And that is to say, he didn't bathe very frequently and he smelled very badly. And everyone talked about it, the former president of Iran. And reports are that he got blowed up in all of this too. Stinky Ahmadinejad did, along with the Ayatollah and so much of the senior leadership in Iran. And they're the terrorist state of Iran, the Islamic Revolution of Iran. And the Democrats are like, hey, they never did anything wrong. I don't know what you guys are complaining about with Iran. We should just get along and let them have nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles, just like Barack Obama and John Kerry and Joe Biden, for that matter, and Hillary, Diane, Rodham Clinton. Hey, let's give them nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles, ICBMs. For Democrats, those are intercontinental ballistic missiles. You could put nuclear warheads on them and blow up cities far away. And the Democrats would be good with that, from what I can tell. Isn't that amazing? And listen, I've got the Speaker of the House yesterday. Here's the headlines. Nobody's paying attention to this. Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, says preemptive strike. He calls it preemptive strike against Iran. Stopped staggering U.S. casualties. He said, wait a minute, Iran was about to attack when we struck them. And Mike Johnson defends Iran attack as move to prevent staggering U.S. casualties. So the terrorists perhaps were about to attack when they were struck. And that wouldn't be terribly surprising because they're Iran. They're the number one terrorist state in the world. And that's really why the Democrats like them. And their number one target is us, the great Satan. You know, we should be out there in the street chanting death to Iran, death to Iran. And we shouldn't be, of course, because that's not what we think. But we should be out there, pound sign, free Iran. Why are the Democrats, let me ask you this, and I mean this. That was my Democrat speak. Let me ask you this. Why are the Democrats not out in the street after 35,000, let's just use that number, 35,000 Iranians murdered by their own regime, the Islamic Revolution? And the Democrats are not out in the street chanting, free Iran. What, free Palestine? When the Jews are attacking, then they're fighting against the savages that have kidnapped and raped and murdered and all that stuff, the Hamas people. The Democrats were out on the street by the thousands all across the country, all across the United States, chanting free Palestine. They got their T-shirts, they got their headdresses, they got projectors to put up on buildings from the river to the sea, wipe Israel out and all that stuff. They're like, I don't know, they're like the Nazi party. I think they're kind of like the Nazi party in the 21st century. And they're out there, free Palestine, and that really meant Hamas. And from the river to the sea means wipe Israel out. That's what the Democrat Party are raising generations of Americans on college campuses and high schools and grammar schools when they're not doing cross-dressing, twerking of street prostitutes. But never mind that. The Democrats are not out of this. They don't have a pound sign free Iran. Why do they not have a pound sign free Iran slogan, a campaign going, T-shirts, signs? Also, just see out in the streets, the Democrats are out in the streets supporting Iran. They got signs made. Did you see the professionally made signs? They had the cardboard sign. They always have these professional shop-made signs that are printed. And down at the bottom, the news media never notices this. I don't think they can read. And at the bottom of the signs that the radical lunatic Democrats are carrying, their pro-Iran signs, they've got PSL. Did you see that at the bottom of the cardboard signs they're carrying? PSL. That's the Party for Socialism and Liberation. It's the Communist Party in the United States of America. And the Democrat Party is, they're the PSL people. The Party for Socialism and Liberation, it's a revolutionary Marxist party. They're making all the signs. They're out in the streets. They pay for them. Maybe George Soros or other rich Democrats are behind it. But they're making these signs that are pro-Iran and anti-U.S., anti-Israel, pro-radical Islamic Jihad terror. And you got the Party for Socialism and Liberation, PSL, making the shop-made signs, the professionally made signs. Isn't that interesting? Well, it's not very interesting, the New York Times or CNN or George Stephanopoulos or ABC News or Chunk Todd and wherever he is now. Not interested in any of that. Jake Tapper, who's allegedly Jewish, he doesn't care about this Party for Socialism and Liberation coming out and supporting Iran in the streets of the United States of America. But the Democrat Party, that's who they are. So we'll get to Speaker of the House Johnson saying that this was a preemptive strike by the United States and that it was taken, the strike, to thwart Iran from attacking U.S. interests and inflicting staggering, that's the word that he used, staggering U.S. casualties. So we've got that going. And Nancy Pelosi, we got more Nancy Pelosi because she couldn't be a bigger hypocrite if she set out to be a bigger hypocrite. But she's always against the United States of America. And the Democrats are always on the other guy's side, which is sort of amazing. But I got some more. Nancy Pelosi defends Obama Libya strikes without congressional approval. And she went on at some length. We played one soundbite yesterday of Nancy Pelosi when she was in between stock trades, very, very successful stock trades. And she was saying, oh, of course, Barack Obama can attack militarily and bomb any country that he wants because, you know, he's not restricted. The Constitution gives the president the right to do that. And now the Democrats are pounding the table and banging their heads against walls and saying exactly the opposite is true. Because were it not for double standards, liberals would have no standards at all. Also, a great friend of mine has interviewed President Trump twice in the last 2 days. President Trump is talking to more media. I think in the last 4 days, he's spoken to more media than Joe Biden spoke to in 4 years. But the Democrats, they want to give Joe Biden a hot oil massage in his beach chair after he drags it over. But honestly, President Trump doing interview after interview, and with my friend Matthew Foldy at the Washington Reporter. Matthew Foldy, the Washington Reporter, covers the White House and much of the rest of Washington. President Donald Trump wants Iranian people to, quote, wait a little bit longer, end quote, before toppling the remaining regime. Because President is saying, and Secretary of Defense and even the Secretary of State saying that there is more to come, more big stuff to come, big stuff, because you know how they are. They've got we're really putting a beating on Iran, and the Democrats say, well, we can't do that. Only we can do that. That's of course they don't call the United States we or us. They like Rashida Tlaib, they call the United States they and them. Those are the U.S. pronouns for Rashida Tlaib and the Mod Squad and the rest of the Democrat Party. Isn't that amazing? And also talking to Matthew Foldy in the Washington Reporter, President Trump in an interview with Matthew Foldy says countries targeted by Iran, quote, will be able to get even, end quote, will be able to get even. Isn't that wonderful? Yes, it is. Just remarkable stuff. That Matthew Foldy talking to President Trump, 2 different interviews. The Iranian people need to wait a little bit longer before toppling the remaining regime. And we don't really know what's going to happen. It's like to say in the news business, one thing's for sure, the future remains to be seen. But we've got, and here's the news media's theme right now. Israel strikes Tehran. This is the Wall Street Journal. Beirut, they strike Tehran and Beirut in widening conflict with Iran. See, this is the news media there. Oh, no, it's broadening. It's why Iran is striking all the countries around them with missiles and so on. So the American news media joins Iran. Oh, no, the war is widening. It's because they're the most belligerent nation, perhaps on the face of the earth right now in the 21st century. Beirut, here's the Wall Street Journal. Israel strikes Tehran, Beirut in widening conflict with Iran. It is Iran that is widening the conflict. And then The Economist. The Iran war is rapidly engulfing the region. We're rapidly because Iran is attacking everybody, and this is great too. The New York Post. Columbia, that's the Columbia University, anti-Israel group posts death to America. They post death to America after U.S. Israel kill Khamenei. And at Columbia University, the Democrats there, they think they're liberals, and they're supporting jihad and the brutalization of women, and they throw gay people off of rooftops and kill them. And at Columbia University, because the left is there, and the left is severely mentally ill and homicidal and bloodthirsty ghouls. But aren't they amazing? In the meantime, Iran has struck the U.S. embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, using drones, and the embassy had already been evacuated. No Americans were killed. But Americans have been urged to leave 14 Middle Eastern countries amid Iran war. CBS News there. And Chunk Todd is back. He says there is no recovering from this, right? And he says that J.D. Vance's presidential hopes are now dead. The key thing about this is Chunk Todd has always been wrong about everything. When Chunk says that J.D. Vance's chances of becoming president are dead, that pretty much guarantees that J.D. Vance will be the next president of the United States. We got Chris Lickspittle Saliza. He's back in the news. Have that going. Update on the Austin, Texas radical Islamic terrorist mass murder there, mass shooting there. And, a lot more. Chicago, poll numbers, the silly French people, and, of course, Bill and Hillary Clinton. Some video was released yesterday. We are at 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Gaithersburg still closed with the jackknife tractor trailer. Northbound 270, local lanes that take you to 370 westbound. Annapolis, the accidents on eastbound, outbound 50 before Rao Boulevard along the left side. And through the district, crash on the freeway westbound between the 3rd Street Tunnel and the 14th Street Bridge. Watch for delays off of the 11th Street Bridge. Out of Virginia, we're still bunched up back near the Pentagon. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Scattered light rain showers today with a high of 46. Rain early turning cloudy tonight with a low of mid-30s.
Prime one-day delivery is fast. How fast we talking? We're talking tissues and hot tea fast. Feel better meds fast. Relieve your door fast. So you can actually breathe out of both nostrils fast. Like I just ordered, and it's already here fast. Fast one-day delivery to feel better sooner. It's on Prime.
And that's the sound of a big deal. At Wayfair, that sound happens a lot. Dream sofa for half the price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months? Big deal. Finally, picking up those last few pieces and finishing that bedroom? Now that's a really big deal. Whatever your home needs, Wayfair has the selection, the savings, and over millions of 5-star reviews to back it up. Shop Wayfair.com today before someone else snags your big deal.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You know what they say. Early bird gets the ultimate vacation home. Book early and save over $120 with Verba. Because early gets you closer to the action, whether it's waves lapping at the shore or snoozing in a hammock that overlooks, well, whatever you want it to. So you can all enjoy the payoff come summer with Verbo's early booking deals. Rise and shine. Average savings $141. Select homes only.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered.
Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
The pediatric team at Community Health Center of the North Country understands your kids are the most important things in your life, and each one of them is unique in their own way. This means care needs to be personalized for each son or daughter you bring through the doors at our Ogdensburg Health Center. Dr. Sunny Patel and Dr. Tiffany Hecht accepting new patients now and providing that personalized pediatric care for every stage of your child's life. Visit chcnorthcountry.org for more information.
It's truck and SUV season at Winter Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck C71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Winter Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at winterAutoSales.com.
Not planning today can cost you tomorrow. Stop worrying and start planning with Trajan Wealth. Contact Trajan today at 202-750-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Every sandwich has bread, every burger has a bun, but these warm, golden, smooth steam buns, these are special, reserved for the very best. The Filet-O-Fish. And you can have them too.
Don't miss deals like a Filet-O-Fish or 10-piece McNuggets. Get any two for just $6 and pair them with $1.39 any size soft drink. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at a regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Washington's best way to wake up. O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on WMAL.
All right, I've got a lot of crazy stuff coming up because they're still on the loose. All right, let's go to the telephones now, and then we'll get back. I've got President Trump. I've got a lot of good stuff for you. And the ghoulish Democrats, they love Luigi Mangione. They love murder and murderers. Let's go to Dave, calling from Severna Park, Maryland. David, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Chris, good morning.
Hey, Dave.
You posed the question, why don't the Democrats react to the death of 35,000 Iranians? It's because they are numb to death. They are their own gods, and anybody who fights for the right to kill their own children, why would they care about the death of anybody else?
It's a perfectly good point, and they do. They are the party of crime and the party of murder. There's a kind of a fun website called HeyJackass.com, and they track the shootings and killings just in Chicago. So far, no, we just entered the third month of the year, so we had January and February in the rearview mirror, but 247 people have been shot in Chicago. I'm going to go ahead and put it.
And that's fine with them.
And that's fine. Nobody says a thing about it. And I'm thinking every single one of those was a Democrat shot and a Democrat shooting. What do you think about that?
Well, it's par for the course. I mean, by any means necessary. They celebrate Luigi Mangione for what he did. They'd be perfectly happy with Trump being murdered. They were perfectly happy with Charlie Kirk being murdered.
That's a fact. And they like musicals about murderers.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Heading through Annapolis as I look through the foggy traffic cameras. Crashes now to the shoulder, eastbound, outbound 50 before Rao Boulevard. Still have some volume delays for Greenbelt and Carrollton on the Beltway, outer loop into Silver Spring, and between 270 and the Legion Bridge, but no late incidents to report. Gaithersburg gets a jackknife tractor trailer, closes the northbound 270 ramp and the local lanes to go west on 370. Westbound freeway crashes after the 3rd Street tunnel, slows off of the 11th Street Bridge. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Scattered light rain showers today with a high of 46. Rain early turning cloudy tonight with a low in the mid-40s.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
The pediatric team at Community Health Center of the North Country understands your kids are the most important things in your life, and each one of them is unique in their own way. This means care needs to be personalized for each son or daughter you bring through the doors at our Ogdensburg Health Center. Dr. Sunny Patel and Dr. Tiffany Hecht accepting new patients now and providing that personalized pediatric care for every stage of your child's life. Visit chcnorthcountry.org for more information.
The winter models don't miss in the DMV. Snow, sleet, and ice are here to stay. It's Vince. Do you need a new roof? Trust Valor, where they believe a roof is not just protection, it's peace of mind. That's why right now, Valor is offering 50% off materials, plus no interest until 2027, making it easier than ever to protect what matters most. And great news, Valor is now expanding with a brand new Northern Virginia office, delivering even faster, trusted service. But what truly defines Valor is Operation Raise the Roof, giving back to those who serve. Recently, Valor provided a brand new roof for Air Force veteran Sergeant Mason Mankey, ending years of stress and worry for his family and friends. If you need a new roof, honor, respect, and trust your home to Valor. Tell them Vince sent you. Call 833-83-VALOR or visit valorhome.com.
Trust your home to Valor.
Supporting our veterans.
833-83-VALOR.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
WMAL, making sense of party politics, because somebody's got to hold their feet to the fire. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
assassinated 3 Republican presidents, and then one communist assassinated a Democrat president, John F. Kennedy. But the left, the Democrats, they love slavery and murder and the bullwhip and all that stuff. But you may recall, I've talked about it here, that John Hinckley, who shot Ronald Reagan in the chest while he was president right here in Washington at the Hilton Hotel, what Democrats call the Hinckley Hilton in Washington, D.C. And John Hinckley he's been released by the Democrats, and he's on the loose. And he we've played audio for you before of John Hinckley playing his acoustic guitar. And he plays acoustic guitar concert sessions, and he sells tickets. And every time he says, "Hey, I'm selling tickets for my next concert," the tickets sell out immediately because Democrats can't wait to buy their John Hinckley concert tickets. John Hinckley has complained, "Oh, stop buying all my T-shirts. Stop buying all my makes T-shirts." John Hinckley sells John Hinckley T-shirts. And he said, "Hi, I'm John Hinckley. I shot Ronald Reagan. Buy one of my T-shirts." And John Hinckley has complained that they sell out so fast that they can't keep up with the manufacture, even with child slave labor in China. They can't keep up making all the T-shirts that John Hinckley needs to make. And that's because of Democrats who love assassination. And Donald Trump was shot, Ronald Reagan was shot, first Republican president Abraham Lincoln was shot, McKinley was shot and killed, and the Democrats, they love that. You may remember the Boston Marathon bombing. The Boston Marathon bombing, more than a decade ago now, amazingly. And Rolling Stone, and there were these 2 Muslims, and you remember the Democrats and CNN, but I repeat myself, they got the first pictures of the suspects in the Boston Marathon bombing, and Democrats said, "Oh, see, it's Patriots Day. It's right-wingers that blew up the Boston Marathon." And it was jihadis who vote Democrat and go to great colleges and all that stuff. But it was the Tsarnaev brothers, you may recall, and they blew up the Boston Marathon and, killed and maimed and all that stuff. And shortly thereafter, this is Democrats, you're looking for your way to get your picture on the cover of the Rolling Stone. The Rolling Stone magazine put one of the 2 Boston Marathon bombers on the cover, looking all glamorous, like he's got a new album out, like he's coming out in a movie soon. And in 2013, July 17, 2013, CBS News, Rolling Stone defends cover featuring Boston Marathon bombing suspect. Sure they did. And it was Joker Tsarnaev. Remember, Joker was the living one because he ran over his own brother with an SUV and killed him. His brother, Tamerlan Tsarnaev. And their parents named Tamerlan after an old Islamic leader who used to love to make pyramids out of severed human heads. They'd sever so many human heads that they'd make pyramids out of the decapitated human heads. And that's what Tamerlan, the great Islamic leader, was known for. And so the Tsarnaev family, they said, well, let's name him Tamerlan after the mad decapitator. And then and Joker, the younger brother, ran over Tamerlan while the police were chasing him after they blew up the Boston Marathon. And the Democrat news media tried to blame, it's white supremacists, it's Republicans, and Democrats, the party of white supremacy, by the way, and of the Confederate States of America, and of Nathan Bedford Forrest founding the KKK, and of course, Senator Robert Byrd, who I met many times, and he founded the KKK in West Virginia and became a lifelong Democrat senator for the Democrat Party, because that's the Democrat Party. And they put Tamerlan Tsarnaev on the cover of the Rolling Stone, and they loved it. They thought it was great. The magazine was titled "The Bomber: They love their colons. How a popular, promising student was failed by his family, fell into radical Islam, and became a monster. But the picture of him here looks like your daughter wants to date him and all that good stuff. So they got that, and they love Tamerlan Tsarnaev, the Boston Marathon bomber. And now, with the New York Post story today, and it actually broke last night on the New York Post at 10:44 p.m., Luigi Mangione musical immortalizing accused CEO killer to premiere on New York City stage. because the Democrats love murder, and they're raising the next generation of psychotic, mentally ill murderers, hate-filled lunatics. A ghoulish musical comedy. It's a comedy, gotta make comedy out of assassination and murder. A ghoulish musical comedy immortalizing the alleged United Healthcare CEO gunman, Luigi Mangione, will premiere in New York City, the real-life setting of the shocking assassination this summer. Isn't that wonderful? It's going to premiere this summer. Luigi, the musical, will take the stage at the Green Room 42 in Midtown West on June 15th, a mere 20-minute subway ride away from where Mangione allegedly gunned down United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson outside of a Hilton hotel in December of 2024. Hilton gets a little plug out of it there. They get a boost because the Democrats murdered people outside of for political reasons, another assassination. The twisted satirical comedy provides this is how they describe it, bold, campy, and unafraid, that's how they describe it, take on the accused assassin's life in lockdown, in jail, while he awaits trial for the murder of the dad of two, father of two and husband and CEO, and he was gunned down, and the Democrats applaud that, and they applaud Luigi Mangione. And now they've got a Broadway musical play, and it's a comedy because the left is a bloodthirsty gang of murderous ghouls, and the Democrat Party is now the left. The show, which claims to interrogate rather than glorify violence, it interrogates violence, but it doesn't glorify it. Of course it glorifies it. It's got a play named after an assassin, and it's a satirical comedy. Originally premiered in San Francisco in 2025 to sold-out crowds because they love murder. They're bloodthirsty ghouls. And as our first caller, Dave, said, what do you expect from a group of people that, look, they call 1 million babies aborted every year in the United States choice. So, hey, it's choice. And so you get to make your choice. Well, Luigi Mangione made a choice, too. He made a choice to assassinate a CEO, a father of two and a husband, because of, nothing that can really be explained. But the Democrats say, the health care sucks. Oh, then blame Obama because he did that. Insurance companies suck. Okay, well, then don't get insurance. Isn't that amazing? The cast of the Big Apple premiere has not yet been announced. Relatives, and I get it, these people, they're just extraordinary. But here they've got the New York Post has representatives for Luigi, the musical, did not immediately respond to the New York Post request for comment. Sure, Luigi is the brainchild of songwriter Ariel Johnson and director Nova Bradford, who said the idea came from an idea scribed on a napkin at the SF Eagle. And at the SF Eagle, it must be like a transgender bar or something. Luigi the musical uses comedy to bring deeper questions to the surface, Bradford said in a statement on the musical's website. Why did this case garner the reaction it did? Well, because the Democrat Party is the Nazi party, and this is a part of their thing. And what happens when people stop trusting their institutions? Well, everything we see around us is what happens when people stop trusting their institutions. So the musical features convicted crypto fraudster Sam Bankman-Fried and the disgraced hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs. I like P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, all that, as Mangione's wacky jailhouse companions at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center. So they've got a musical. It's a musical comedy. It's about murder and assassination. The Democrats love it. They put Joker Zarnaev on the cover of Rolling Stone because they're demented and they love murder. That's your Democrat Party. Oh, and the Clintons, they were, speaking of people dying untimely deaths, Hillary Clinton, they released video yesterday. The Republicans on Capitol Hill did. Hillary Clinton testifying and of Bill Clinton testifying. And I don't know if you saw the video of Bill Clinton smiling. He was given evidence because they wanted to ask him about evidence, and it was printouts of pictures of him in hot tubs with underage girls and all naked and stuff. And Bill Clinton is smiling, big, broad smile, like he's looking at his Christmas pictures from long ago. And he's smiling so much and flipping from page to page and going, oh, look at this one. I remember her. And to the point where his lawyer literally grabbed the stack of photos and yanked the stack of papers out of his hand. She's like, you're on camera, stupid. You look like you're beaming with delight at you in hot tubs with underage girls when you're claiming you knew nothing about Jeffrey Epstein's goings-on, his hijinks. Isn't that amazing? So we've got that. There's a little bit of audio with it, too. Just amazing. So we have that. That's what's going on over here. And I got a Harvard poll for you today too. Also, this one of my brothers sent me this. This is kind of a wacky story. More Democrats. Michael Jackson was, of course, Michael Jackson. He was a Democrat, of course, and then he died. Michael Jackson's son. It's B-I-G-I. It's not Biggie, because that would be a misspell of Biggie. Like Biggie Smalls. When did he shot to death or something? I'm going to say Biggie. Michael Jackson's son, Biggie, formerly Blanket. His name was Blanket Jackson, because Michael Jackson named him Blanket Jackson. Flashes animated expression during rare outing. Yeah, Michael Jackson has left 3 children behind, and this guy looks like you want to subject him to extra scrutiny at TSA. The son of the late king of pop, Michael Jackson, has embraced a rather private life over the years. But B.G. Jackson, the youngest son of Michael Jackson, was spotted during a rare public sighting over the weekend. B.G., formerly Blanket Jackson, grabbed lunch with pals in Los Angeles on Sunday and opted for a rather laid-back look. And there are pictures of him here, and he looks like a pretty average 24 years old, I think. And there he is, and he's wearing a Quince Shirk fishing T-shirt. And Bigi, who's 24 years old, wandering about looking calm and content, is what they say. But there he is, he appeared. I thought it was fun because his name is Bigi, but it used to be Blanket. His name was Blanket because Michael Jackson named him Blanket, right? He's got siblings too. Another Michael Jackson kid is named Paris Jackson, and then you have Prince Jackson. Got Paris Jackson, Prince Jackson, now Bigi Jackson, but Bigi used to be Blanket Jackson, because they're all ill. Hey, Blanket, how you doing? I'm not Blanket anymore. Now I'm Bigi. Ah, yes. Okay. I'll be leaving now. All right, Michael, let's grab another phone call. Let's talk to the great American people. Let's go to Jerry calling from Leesburg, Virginia. Geraldo, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Chris, long time no talk. Hey, I really wish that he had announced the strike, and I still hope he does. He goes and talks to the American people. Echo Michael Cooley's line from Godfather Park. Tonight, I settle all family business. He can change it around to this week we settle all country business. I mean, think about it. We took out Maduro. We've taken out Khamenei and basically the head, the top 50 terrorists in Iran. He's basically, because of what he's doing, it's basically almost like the massacring of the five head families. Because what's happened is that he's denied China oil from Venezuela. He's denied China oil from Iran. The whole BRICS thing, where India was part of trying to replace the dollar as the reserve currency, India has now flipped and is now shying away from that. And Putin is now reaching out to us saying, "Hey, we'd like to have peace talks again." So I think this really reminded me, because I just saw the movie again for like the 800th time last week. When this happened, I'm reminded of that. Tonight I settle all family business, and I would love to see something like that.
Yeah, you might have Showtime. Do you have Showtime?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I noticed Showtime was all over. Godfather was all over Showtime, and Godfather 2. They're showing him back to back on Showtime, and they were on every day when I turned it on. And I'm like, hey, Godfather's on again. And I was chuckling. And since you brought it up, since you brought it up, and it is Jeff was talking to you on the phone when you called in, and he said, "Oh yeah, I went and I grabbed the clip from The Godfather because this is what he said Jerry's talking about."
Today I settle all family business, so don't tell me you're innocent, Carlo. Admit what you did.
Admit what you did, Carlo. And Carlo, well, he eventually admitted it was Barzini, right? And then he got strangled in the front seat of the car, punching his feet through the front window of the car and all that stuff. Because Carlo, he had you got to account for Sonny because he betrayed the family, right? But you're right. It is kind of like the Godfather when Michael takes out the other heads of the families. And yeah, President Trump took out Nicolas Maduro in Venezuela. He's in the United States in jail now. The Ayatollah Khamenei got good and blown up in Mexico. The president and the U.S. intelligence worked with Mexico to the Mexican government killed a major cartel leader in Mexico about 2 weeks ago now. And yeah, President Trump is not messing around at all. And it's true that he's strategizing around choking China and their sources of oil, Venezuela, Iran. And, you know, I heard somebody say yesterday they don't have enough energy now to attack Taiwan. So don't look for China to attack Taiwan, which they might be inclined to do during this Iran situation. But, yeah, Putin's back at the table. The BRICS nations are behaving better. The good guys of the world have to maintain order in the world or the wheels come off all over the place. And the U.S., since Barack Obama came along, has not been playing the role of the United States. The Democrats have been funding Iran and the Ayatollah and the mullahs and the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. The Democrats giving them money to enrich uranium, which they green-lighted. Oh, sure, go ahead and spin centrifuges. Go ahead and enrich uranium. Oh, and the Iranians lied to them, and the Democrats are too stupid to realize what they've entered into. Continue to advance the range of your ballistic missiles, no problem. The Democrats are not the brightest bunch at the table.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Heading into the district, latest problem is the crash in the northbound 3rd Street tunnel, right as you get into the tunnel. So this is slowing the freeway in each direction. If you take the 12th Street tunnel, that's heading most of its length to Constitution Avenue. Southbound 270, still volume delays, Germantown into Gaithersburg. Northbound 270, the ramp that would take you to 370 westbound from the local lane, still closed with the jackknife tractor trailer crash. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Scattered light rain showers today with a high of 46. Rain early turning cloudy tonight with a low in the mid-40s.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
No, son, I think so too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck C71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens.
Big flip. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com. Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Every sandwich has bread, every burger has a bun, but these warm, golden, smooth steam buns, these are special, reserved for the very best. The Filet-O-Fish, and you can have them too.
Don't miss deals like a Filet-O-Fish or 10-piece McNuggets. Get any two for just $6 and pair them with $1.39 any size soft drink. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at a regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Nearly home. Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. Finding a home is like dating. You're not just looking for a place to live. You're searching for the one. That's where Realtor.com comes in. Like any good matchmaker, they know exactly where to look. With over 500,000 new real listings straight from the pros every month, you can find your perfect match today. Ranch style with a pool, barn dominium with an in-law suite, Realtor.com's got them. Modern craftsman with a big yard and a treehouse out back, Realtor.com will have you saying, yep, that's the one. No more swiping. It's time to start finding. Download the Realtor.com app today, because you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2025 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings, July 2024 to June 2025.
WMAL, making sense of the economy because it's your money and your retirement. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
We have primary races happening in Texas today, too. And Jasmine Felicia Crockett is about to get a, what was it? Bye, Felicia? Good night, Felicia? Bye, Felicia. About to get a bye, Felicia, from the people of Texas. Let's go back to the telephones. Let's go to Kelly, calling from beautiful South Carolina. Kelly, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Morning, Chris. How are you?
I'm just great. Kelly?
So listen, I was thinking about this earlier this weekend, especially when everything started going down in Iran. And I feel like, yes, the Democrats were absolutely stupid. Dumbest people on the planet, IQ of -5, right? But I think their Trump arrangement syndrome, their TDS has got to be so bad that what he says, they do complete opposite. It's like if he said the air was healthy and clean and you should breathe it, they hold their breath. It boggles the mind. It really does.
Yeah, it does. It's they have the brains. I like to say, Kelly, they have the brains of children.
Yeah, but it's kind of an insult to children, isn't it?
It is an insult to the average child. That's true. Now I've got to rethink that, Kelly, because you're right. Which children? Just children on 3-wheeled bicycles wearing hockey helmets. I think that's pretty much the Democrat party today. Kelly, you're on to them. You've cracked the code.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9.
WMAL News at 10 o'clock. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. The American Heart Association was the honored guest for the Open on Wall Street this morning, which was pretty fitting because the numbers had to have sent palpitations through investors as the Dow dropped 1,000 points shortly after the Open as oil prices leapt.
Worries rising that the war with Iran is widening and may do more sustained damage to the global economy than feared. A reminder, it was just a day ago that stocks opened with sharp losses only to recover all of them and to end the day with slight gains. The Dow right now is down 1,129 points, the NASDAQ down 510. Fighting continues across the Middle East, with Iran hitting a U.S. embassy in Saudi Arabia.
No U.S. personnel were killed or injured when the U.S. embassy in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, was struck by at least 2 Iranian Shahed drones last night. It was largely empty at the time, but other military bases in Saudi Arabia are being targeted. The State Department issued this urgent warning to Americans in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia, an eastern coastal city near Bahrain. Quote, "There is a threat of imminent missile and UAV attacks over Dhahran. Do not come to the U.S. consulate. Take cover immediately in your residence on the lowest available floor and away from windows."
Fox News' Jennifer Griffin. Security around D.C. and its suburbs has become visibly more intense as we enter day 4 of Operation Epic Fury. The U.S. warning people to be vigilant.
Now, we want to be clear this morning. Authorities say there is no known threat in the United States this morning. Even so, travelers are being warned abroad. The State Department updated advisories for Israel, the West Bank, Gaza, and several Gulf nations, urging Americans to reconsider or not travel to the Middle East right now.
7 News' John Gonzalez. The man accused of stabbing a woman to death at a bus stop in Hybla Valley last week is an illegal immigrant with a rap sheet as long as your arm that includes several violent offenses.
It's absolutely unacceptable that after 40 offenses, including 5 malicious woundings and a rape, that you've got somebody like this on our streets.
Fairfax County Supervisor Pat Harity telling 7 News he blames lax prosecutors, state lawmakers, and county supervisors who tolerate such crimes. 7 News reached out to Commonwealth's Attorney Steve Descano and received no response. Montgomery County today will escalate its efforts to keep federal immigration enforcement out.
We are standing here to declare that there will be no ICE detention facility in Montgomery County.
Councilmember Evan Glass, the proposed legislation will look to do several things, including define what an immigrant detention center is, while also prohibiting the Department of Permitting Services from issuing building permits to erect a private immigration facility.
What we've learned about ICE is that they are most oftenly using third parties to purchase and lease buildings.
Glass adds,
"We as a council have made the determination that protecting our residents is worth fighting for."
Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Again, checking your money, the Dow futures down 1,040 points. The S&P right now is down 144 or 2%. The NASDAQ is down 502. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
If your patio, sidewalk, or driveway is cracked or uneven, if you've tripped or fallen as a result, or if you're worried about the liability of an uneven surface on your property, American Concrete Services can quickly help. Don't pay the high cost to tear out and replace your sidewalk, patio, driveway, or pool deck. American Concrete Services has an economical solution which can raise and stabilize your existing concrete at a fraction of the cost of full replacement. They're environmentally friendly structural foam. With structural foam lifting, there's no heavy equipment to cause damage to your property and no loud noises from jackhammering. Best of all, most repairs can be completed in just one day. Have your entire patio, sidewalk, or driveway safe and level again. No job is too big or small. Call American Concrete Services now for your free estimate at 240-665-5665. That's 240-665-5665. Again, 240-665-5665. Licensed in D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. NHIC 140530.
Prime one-day delivery is fast. How fast are we talking? We're talking yoga mats and fitness trackers delivered so fast you can kick off your routine tomorrow fast. We're talking weights at your door without really waiting fast. Water bottles and hydration backpacks fast and fast. Resistance bands faster than you can say feel the burn fast. More jump ropes just a hop, skip, and a jump away, aka fast. Whew. That was actually a good workout fast. Fast one-day delivery for all things fitness. It's on Prime.
WMAL traffic and weather. Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Around the Beltway, gradual improvement. There are some slow spots still, though, on the outer loop from New Hampshire Avenue around Georgia Avenue, and then approaching the American Legion. Bridge. The inner loop is still pretty slow from Route 1 in College Park down toward Route 50. 66 eastbound, delays now from the Fairfax County Parkway over toward 123. After that, you're good through the Beltway. 395 northbound is very slow across the 14th Street Bridge onto the freeway toward the 3rd Street Tunnel. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, here's the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Occasional rain this afternoon. We'll have a high of 45. The rain tapers off late. Some fog developing. Temperatures remain steady in the mid-40s. It is 36 degrees right now at Reagan National. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
By the way, there he was, murdered at 86. Man, are the virgins going to be disappointed. America apparently had to start an entire war to kill an 86-year-old man in ill health and not wait, 3 weeks to let saturated fat do its thing.
Yes. They're hilarious. They should. Whatever they do, they find ways to defend the terrorists of the world and glorify murderers and assassins. Little cat scratch fever. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah, big politics going on in Texas today, the state of Texas today. Jasmine Crockett leads James Tallarico in new Texas primary poll, the El Paso Times says. Democrats have to get out and vote for James Tallarico in the primary there because Jasmine Crockett, she's an embarrassment to Western civilization, to the English-speaking world. And the Democrats love her. Yes, they do. Just like they love Luigi Mangione. They're making a musical comedy about Luigi Mangione assassinating a nice man, a father of two, a husband, a CEO, never did anything wrong, and the Democrats celebrate his murder because they're the left. They're not liberals. They're completely insane. Yes, they are. Boy, I got to tell you the craziness. And they're out here, they're chanting in favor of Iran. And where are they? They're chanting death, death to America. But you know what they're doing? The Democrats. You see this one? They're putting out because they don't like America. They've got the death to America thing going, and they're doing it now in Farsi, in Persian. The teaching people, and they did this last year in Chicago. You may remember last year in Chicago, Democrats held a gathering, and at the gathering, they were teaching a large group of Democrats that had assembled to chant death to Israel in Persian and death to America after one of the Democrat participants said, "Can you teach us to chant death to America too? Can you?" And this is in Chicago last year.
I'm going to teach you a chant in Persian that you can use if you ever encounter those Zionist freaks, whether they be Iranian or whatever. All right? Now, I don't drink margaritas, but we all know what a margarita is. We all know what a bar is. So you're going to say, Mar Bar. Mar Bar. Mar Bar Israel. 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 Mar Bar Israel.
And yay! Yeah, death to Israel. Learning to chant death to Israel. Marg Bar Israel. Marg Bar Israel. Death to Israel. Death to Israel. And the Democrats are chanting. And then one of them says, "What about, can you teach us to chant death to America?"
So, that's two meanings, depending on the it can be death to or down with. So, we do Mar Bar America. Yes, okay. Mar Bar America. Mar Bar America. Mar Bar America. Mar Bar America.
Thank you. See, they're teaching that's in Farsi and Persian. They're teaching the Democrats in Chicago to chant in foreign languages, death to America. It's what they always chant in the streets of Tehran. They've been doing that since I was a teenager. Death to America, death to America. And now, pretty amazing story out of New York, New York. Columbia University anti-Israel group posts death to America after U.S. and Israel killed Khamenei because they love Khamenei. He's the head terrorist, the bearded loon. Columbia University's biggest anti-Israel student group, which notoriously organized last year's on-campus encampment in protest of the Gaza war, that is to say in favor of Hamas, kidnapping and torturing and raping and murdering, posted death to America in Persian after the U.S. and Israel killed Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei. Marg Bar America, the Columbia University, listen to this, apartheid divest group. They CUAD, QUAD. They call them the Columbia University Apartheid Divest Group. That is to choke Israel to death economically is their plan because they're like Nazis, they hate the Jews, want to kill them all, wipe Israel off the face of the earth. Marg Bar America, the Columbia University QUAD group, posted on X and a rally cry made famous by founder the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini, the long-dead Khomeini. When he died, a mob ripped his body to shreds and tore pieces of his beard out. They still have him at home, in frames on the wall in Tehran. The words are a transliteration of the Farsi phrase. The post was removed by X, but the organization, which is not recognized by the Ivy League school, doubled down. It's not recognized. They just allow them to operate on campus. They don't officially recognize them because that would be wrong. X forced us to delete our Marg Bar America tweet in order to gain back access to our account, but the sentiment still stands, QUAD wrote on X. Columbia University responded to the troubling post in a statement emphasizing that QUAD is not affiliated in any way with the university, except that it's operated by the students on campus. And they, from the river to the sea chants, wipe Israel off the face of the earth, kill all the Jews, just like their Nazi forebears of the Socialist Workers' Party from Germany. There is no evidence that anyone currently in control of their account is a current Columbia student, staff, or faculty member. They are illegally using the Columbia name, the New York City schools said. Sure, we're the Columbia University Death to Israel cult, and we're posting Death to America on X. And they're like, hey, well, we don't even know him. We weren't even there. We never met the guy. Isn't that amazing? It's the Columbia University Death to Israel, Death to America cult. Don't ever hire anyone from Columbia University. That's one of the things. Now, if you went to Columbia, you should be unhirable, I think. Don't you think? Yes, sir. That's it. Now, left-wingers at Mediaite, they've got a story. Here's the headline. It's in quotation marks. There is no recovering from this, end quote. Chunk Todd declares J.D. Vance presidential hopes, quote, dead. See, J.D. Vance's presidential hopes are dead, Chunk Todd said, which pretty much guarantees that J.D. Vance will be the next president of the United States. Because Chunk has always been wrong about everything, and he's a clown. Former NBC newsman Chunk Todd declared Vice President J.D. Vance's chances of securing a promotion in 2028 dead on Monday during a conversation with CNN and Washington Post alum Chris Lickspittle-Cillizza, the veteran political analyst. He's a veteran political analyst, allegedly. Argued that President Donald Trump's decision to launch a military operation in Iran has harmed his number two's political prospects in a few ways. J.D. Vance's presidential aspirations are dead, stated Chuck Todd.
J.D. Vance's presidential aspirations are dead.
That is a hot take. Okay, explain. I mean, I know what you're talking about, but
Okay.
I know what you're talking about. Sounds like Bud Noble. I know what you're talking about.
It's like what happened to Kamala Harris. Whatever identity J.D. Vance had going that was different from Donald Trump's is gone. And now you own everything he does. And he is certainly in this, there's been nothing that he's, it's clear he's a little uncomfortable with this, right?
Of course, it's exactly the opposite of what he advocated.
Stop yelling, Rick Spittle.
He cannot ever run against this. So he has lost the one thing that made him different is gone. The differentiator is gone. His America First credentials are just non-existent. There is no recovering from this.
No recovering from this. There's no. They're the doomsayers extraordinary, and all the Democrats are out there. It's already lost. It's doomsday. The biggest threat to the United States and Western civilization is not Iran. It's the American Democratic Party. Of course, they back Iran. They support Iran. They provide their immoral support to Iran. The immoral support caucus of the Democrat Party. They're with Nicolas Maduro, the drug trafficking kleptocrat, election stealer. That's what Democrats are pretty much themselves, too. So isn't that amazing? But there's Lickspittle and Chunk. Lickspittle was screaming and yelling. Why was he screaming and yelling? Was he at home in a bathtub or something? That was Lickspittle. Yeah, Lickspittle has reappeared. And Chunk. And they're still wrong about everything. Isn't that amazing? Yes, sir. Yeah, there's another story about Lickspittle that is out there as well, which is kind of fun. And what is that? Edrans.com. The unbearable stupidity of Chris Cillizza. Kind of funny. Like most professional pundits who tell us to sleep with dull platitudes, Chris Lickspittle Cillizza is an imperious tadpole who somehow believes that he has the legs to win a frog jumping contest. I think that's a reference to an old Mark Twain thing. But there we Cillizza's sophism was shrewdly sussed out by Dave Weigel in 2014, and his style, if we can call it that, has long been the bane of anyone who actually listens to him, genuinely cares about thinking and journalism. But Lickspittle, he's on CNN and he's yelling at Chunk Todd, and our news media is just the most ridiculous, the most comical, most absurd. And then we have Jim Acosta too, Abilio Acosta. He's another former CNN guy. I got to tell you, CNN. It looks like CNN may sell to somebody that believes in the truth, and so they're having a flop sweat panic attack over at CNN. But this was Jim Acosta, Jim Abilio Acosta. He's still, he's a journalist of some kind, according to himself. And the great people at Media Research Center caught Jim Acosta talking to another left-wing lunatic on Al Gore's amazing internet, thanks to the patriarchy. And here is Lickspittle, not Lickspittle. This is Abilio Acosta. He's ashamed of his Cuban heritage, so he doesn't use Abilio. He says, call me Jim.
In addition to that, I heard Pete Hegseth say this morning at the Pentagon briefing that Iran is responsible for thousands of American deaths. I don't know what he's talking about. I guess he's saying that there were IEDs supplied by Iranian proxies during the Iraq war.
I guess.
So that's how they're getting. But it feels like, again, we're going through this thing all over again where the government is lying.
Wow. Hey, there you go. Jim Acosta. Like when Barack Obama famously said that the military campaign that they launched against 8 different countries, but against Libya in particular, he said it would last days and not weeks. And that lasted 8 months. And the American news media completely ignored it, just completely ignored it. And then they left their country in the hands.
Uh-oh. Now what? Oh, come on. The fuck? Oh, here we go.
on my uniform, I'm reminded of the countless men and women serving in the armed forces.
Paramount, the leader in pest control since 1939.
You ever wonder why Verizon charges twice as much as Pure Talk for the same basic service? Think it might have something to do with the fact that Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion. That's billion with a B. Yeah, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. That's why they can offer unlimited talk, text, and plenty of
These
data on a
motherfuckers cut me
5G
off.
network for just $25 a month. Save an additional 50% off your first month when you dial pound 250 and say the words Micro. That's pound 250 Micro.
Hear that? That's Mike. He took ZQL Pure Z's, so now he's sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. ZQL Pure Z's are fast-acting melatonin gummies with a complementary botanical blend to help Mike get the sleep he needs to wake up refreshed and ready to
Ignorant
conquer life.
motherfuckers.
Let's do this Monday. ZQL Pure Z's, just for sleep. Really great sleep. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Use as directed.
You've worked hard, planned carefully, and earned peace of mind. Senior Advantage checking from FVC Bank is designed to earn interest without monthly maintenance fees. Banking that respects your experience instead of complicating it. You get straightforward service, local support, and a bank that understands where you are in life. Because experience matters. That's Senior Advantage from FVC Bank. Member FDIC.
Buy one, get one 40% off and enjoy 0% financing for a year at thewindowman.com. Ends March 31st. Summer heat is on the way. Improve your home's energy efficiency and comfort with Otrix windows from thewindowman.com. Otrix windows, Monray storm windows, and Probia doors. All buy one, get one 40% off and get 0% financing for 1 full year. Schedule your no-pressure consultation with thewindowman.com or visit their Fairfax showroom. Select products only. Minimums and installation apply. Prior sales already quoted. Projects excluded. See consultant for details.
Hey, man, that was our exit. We're going to miss kickoff. Don't worry. Just got to stop by Giant to get some chips and dip real quick. Nice. You got the Upside app too, right? Upside? What's Upside? Time out. You don't know this? Check this out. Upside is a free app that gets you cash back when you buy groceries. And it just added all Giant stores in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, and Delaware. You're saying I can get money back just for buying groceries? That's a pretty big deal. Yep. And with Upside, you can get up to $15 every time you shop at Giant. Now pull over and get the Upside app. Let's get some cash back on that queso. Download the Upside app and use promo code DC3 to get a $10 bonus on your first grocery purchase at Giant. That's promo code DC3 to get a $10 bonus.
These motherfuckers going to play another commercial?
DC3. Giant is now on Upside. It's a pretty big deal.
Offers vary by user and location at participating merchants. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
For the best LASIK doctor in the DMV. Visit
This is fucking
CLASIK.com.
sickening. That's so fucking ignorant.
Multiple sources of income to meet our needs. The 30+9 savings plan can turbocharge your income plan with its 30% deposit match and 9.5% guaranteed annual rate of return. Backed by a Fortune 100 company, the 30+9 plan provides safety, security, and peace of mind. It's something everyone should take a look at. For free information, call or text to 888-411-4130 or click this video to learn more.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Wow, that's 6 minutes of commercials.
Have you thought about how you're going to finance it? Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered.
Fucking
Visit
sick me.
mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
WMAL's Vince Colonnese, weekdays at noon on 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
And I've also got an update for you on the 3 F-15 shot down by our allies in Kuwait. And a woman crew member, pilot or backseater, who parachuted down. I want to talk about her. She got a nice smile. Let's go back to the telephones, though. Let's go to Monty. There's Monty. Monty from Columbia, Maryland. Monty, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Yes, I was hoping that I can get to talk to you.
Well, here you are.
Okay. And we know what's going on. Right now, I'm watching TV and what's happening in the world because of the Islamic regime Shiaism that was established in Iran in 1979. Because we Iranians are peaceful people.
Right.
We were the country who established human rights by Cyrus the Great in 539 BCE. And these things that are happening in the name of Iranians are really painful to any real Iranian. I just want my fellow Americans to understand that all of these things that are said, that Iranians did, that's not Iranian. Iranians, when Khomeini died, was killed, they were dancing on the streets when he died, when he was killed. The Iranian people are quiet because they are ashamed of what's going on in their name. And these people are Shiite Islamists who have nothing to do with Iran and Iranian civilization and Iranian history. We have been a peaceful country for thousands of years.
Yeah. Well,
and it's shameful for every Iranian.
Well, sure, it's the rise of radical Islam, and it's true that Persian culture is an extraordinary culture and was creating things for thousands of years, from windmills to chess to all kinds of great cultural developments, the Persian culture, before it was taken over. And Monty, you know that the Nazis came through under Adolf Hitler and met with the mullahs back then, and it was Persia until then. And they said, oh, you should be called Iran, right? And Monty, why did they say this? What is the word Iran rooted in?
Well, Iran means the land of peace.
Well, but the term
an ancient name.
And the word, Persia is, but Iran is Aryan, right?
No, Iran is not Aryan. Iran is based on ancient language.
Well, I mean Iran. The word. I mean the word.
The land of peace.
Oh, look, I understand.
Persia means.
Go ahead.
Yes. Persia was the first people thousands of years ago, according to UNESCO, 60,000 years ago, there was the first human society was established in the western mountains of Iran, and they were called Persians.
Well, listen, Monty, it is the Persian culture is a great culture, and we can go back there all kinds of the battles with the Greeks in ancient times and in the Mediterranean and all that good stuff. That's just the history of the world, and that's all fine. Persia is a great culture. The Islamist culture is the problem.
This is the Chris Plant Show.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10:30. Good morning. I'm John Matthews. A worldwide stock sell-off is slamming Wall Street, and oil prices leaping higher as worries rise. The war with Iran is widening and could cause sustained damage to the global economy. The S&P 500 has dropped 2%. The Dow is now down 1,260 points. The same thing happened yesterday morning, and prices did recover by the end of the day. Iran has expanded its target, striking the U.S. Embassy in Saudi Arabia as Washington begins to pull staff out of the Middle East. President Trump has suggested this is just the start of the conflict. It's already severely disrupted the world's supply of oil and gas and air travel. George Washington University has sold its Virginia Science and Technology campus to Amazon. The 120-acre site in Ashburn includes the university's nursing school and several science labs. The university says the $427 million will strengthen the university's long-term health. Traffic and weather next.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle from Blindster. I started Blindster in my garage back in 2010. Since then, we've sold millions of custom blinds, shades, and shutters nationwide. Our blinds are DIY friendly, guaranteed to fit, and always cheaper than big box stores. Blindster.com.
On I-66 eastbound, still under speed from the Fairfax County Parkway over to 123. Now an accident reported in that delay. After that, though, you're good to the Beltway as you continue east on 66. Around the Beltway, not too bad. A little bit under speed in Montgomery County on the outer loop from University Boulevard to just after Georgia Avenue. Virginia Beltway inner loop northbound a bit slow from Braddock Road up to 236. 395 northbound, a work zone near Edsel Road, slowing you down as you head up from the Springfield interchange. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, here's the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Occasional rain this afternoon, high 45. It's 35 at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT. Yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander? Just $20,999. Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71. Yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
The pediatric team at Community Health Center in the North Country understands your kids are the most important things in your life, and each one of them is unique in their own way. This means care needs to be personalized for each son or daughter you bring through the doors at our Ogdensburg Health Center. Dr. Sunny Patel and Dr. Tiffany Hecht accepting new patients now and providing that personalized pediatric care for every stage of your child's life. Visit chcnorthcountry.org for more information.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Right now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, you can get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 qualifying brake rotors. Ask the professional parts people about additional brake pad and rotor upgrade options available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Every sandwich has bread, every burger has a bun, but these warm, golden, smooth steam buns, these are special, reserved for the very best. The Filet-O-Fish, and you can have them too.
Don't miss deals like a Filet-O-Fish or 10-piece McNuggets. Get any 2 for just $6 and pair them with $1.39 any size soft drink. Price and participation may vary, cannot be combined with any other offer, single item at a regular price. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
I think so, too. Now, if you thought about how you're going to finance it,
I really like banking with Northern Credit Union.
Right? Of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we bought. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern
That's some
Credit
strong
Union
pot
mobile
right
banking
there.
app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
WMAL, making sense of the markets because generational wealth doesn't build itself. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
I gotta, 3 American F-15 Strike Eagle fighter jets were shot down by our alleged allies, the bobblehead dolls in Kuwait. You can train them, but still you're dealing with Kuwaitis, and that's thousands of years of not so much going on there. With that, let's. I see someone on the phones wants to talk about that. I gotta say, it's just it's crazy. Let's go to Jack, calling from Satellite Beach, Florida, on the Space Coast. Jack, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Good morning, Chris.
Hey, Jack.
Having a grand day.
Excellent.
So I was listening to you yesterday, and you were mentioning your theory about the bobblehead Kuwaitis, and that very likely is the primary reason our guys got shot down. But I'm also thinking that, as you know, your time in the Pentagon, with the military, you know what flows downhill. And Kuwait had been hit pretty hard for a day and a half before they shot down our planes. So I'm thinking the Emir contacted the defense minister, who contacted the guy in charge of that facility that shot down our airplanes, and said, "Don't let that ever happen again." So they became trigger happy. So that's one theory. Not that they didn't know what to do.
Now, to be clear, it's Iran that is raining death down upon them, not the United States, of course. But still, they're being attacked.
They were just trigger happy.
Right.
Anything that was flying over, and then that's where the bobblehead comes in. They became so flustered because they'll get so much pressure. Don't let another single missile or drone hit our country, that they were just shooting at anything up in the air.
Yeah.
But there's something more nefarious I was thinking. What if they did it on purpose? And you say, well, why would they? Well, why would 3 Kuwaitis crash into our buildings in New York City? After we saved them in the first Gulf War.
It's a complicated region of the world, isn't it, Jack?
It is. And our 6 servicemen that were killed in Kuwait at that command center, the American Command Center, how did Iran get the exact coordinates for where our guys were in Kuwait?
Okay.
Somebody had to have given them those coordinates.
Well, that's an interesting thought.
Bobblehead, or it's very, very nefarious.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I understand your thinking now, and nothing is out of the question, certainly when it comes to that region of the world. Now, the Iranians going to have agents in Kuwait who do work for them, and everybody's phone gives you GPS coordinates of wherever you are, and range finders, and you can all these tools are readily available on Al Gore's amazing internet. Most of them are available on your telephone, your smartphone. But I understand your interesting thinking, and the Emir say got tired of having death rain down upon them by Iran, and still, to the Arab mind, they might be thinking, well, if the U.S. didn't do this, this wouldn't be happening to us now. So you never know what the thinking is of the Emir, who is the monarch of Kuwait, right? And you never know. And is there somebody there helping Iran? I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. And is that person a Kuwaiti? You can't rule that out.
That's why we were so surprised when Kuwaitis were in those airplanes that hit their World Trade Center and crashed into the Pennsylvania field. So, I mean, their loyalties are not with the United States of America. Some of them are not. And then combine that with the Emir saying, don't you let one more missile hit our country. And like I said, then they turned into bobbleheads and just started shooting at anything in the air that, they brought down our 3 very expensive airframes. So that's what I thought I'd kind of flesh out the bubble. I spent some time in Kuwait and all those Gulf states when I was flying for an airline over there. So I understand what your thinking is and why you would come to that thought. So
yeah,
but enjoy your show a lot. I enjoy your show a lot. And when we come, perhaps in a few months, special booking season, I'd like to call you up and talk about the governor of California and her coupled husband. So, but that'll be for a different day.
All right, Jack. Thank you. Yeah, the governor of California, the cuckolded husband. Funny stuff. Jack, thank you. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it. And it's I'm not sure there were Kuwaitis among the 19 hijackers, though. The Saudis, I think 15 of them were Saudis, and UAE. There was an Egyptian, a Lebanese, but I'm not sure. Not sure there are Kuwaitis on the other planes crashing. But let me share this with you, Jack, because there are a couple stories since you mentioned that you're talking about the 3 American F-15 Strike Eagles that were shot down. And there's a story in the Daily Mail, the British newspaper, and they've got a couple of pictures, one of an F-15 and a flat spin falling to the ground, and one with a picture of an American pilot. And he's actually down on one knee in his full flight gear, of course, with helmet and everything. He's down on one knee with his hands up as an Arab man in a white T-shirt has a metal pipe about the size of a T-ball bat, and he's rushing at the American. The American has his hands up, down on one knee, and he says, "Back up, I'm American. Back up, I'm American," right? And this is, again, in Kuwait. This is kind of fun. "Back up, I'm American. Incredible moment. Local threatens airman with a metal pipe, thinking he was Iranian." See, he thought that an Iranian plane had been downed, saw the parachutes, rushed after the parachutes, and found the pilot on the ground, was attacking him with a pipe. The American F-15 crew member, pilot or backseater, after he parachuted out of the F-15, mistakenly shot down by Kuwait. And the American sees the man rushing at him with a big pipe, and he says, "Hey, hey, hey. No. I'm American. I'm American. Oh, okay. And you'd think you'd be able to tell by 5 different factors, but it was a moment, an American pilot who parachuted out of an F-15 fighter jet shot down over Kuwait and by Kuwait, was threatened by a local with a pipe, and he wasn't alone. There were several men who had rushed. Now, look, if they're Iranian pilots and they're in there bombing the hell out of everybody, then they should probably beat them to death with a metal pipe. But since they're Americans, the footage on social media shows a group of men approaching the pilot and shouting, while one of them brandishes a metal pipe. The pilot is heard repeating, "Back up, stop." And the men move closer and closer, appearing to think that the airman is Iranian. The tense situation is diffused once the pilot finally tells the locals he's American, after which they retreat and leave him alone, which is good stuff. The pilot was aboard one of the 3 F-15 fighter jets, mistakenly shot down over the Middle Eastern country on Monday. Footage earlier emerged showing the $90 million airplane spiraling out of control, then crashed to the ground. U.S. Central Command said that all 6 crew members ejected safely and have been recovered, evacuated, and transferred to hospital for health checks, because punching out of your jet is like having a car accident, and you get blasted out, the canopy blasts off, and then your seat is there's a jet rocket, and you're ejected out of the airplane, and it's very violent. It can cause spinal damage and nerve damage, and you bang your arms and your legs, and you can really be injured while ejecting, as John McCain was, for example, when he ejected in Vietnam, breaking his legs and so on. So you take him to the hospital when somebody ejects from a fighter jet, because there could be all kinds of things. Now, Kuwaiti's Ministry of Defense said it coordinated with the U.S. regarding the circumstances of the incident and would investigate. 4 years from now, we'll get an unsatisfying one-page release on a Friday afternoon on that. But there's another video of one of the crew members was a woman from one of the three F-15s, at least one of the three F-15s. And I've got to say, this woman is on the beach. She landed in her parachute, ejected from the F-15 Strike Eagle, shot down by our friends, the Kuwaitis. She landed on the beach, and she is, of course, in her flight suit and so on. And I've got to say, this woman, I watched the video, and she has got the biggest smile you've ever seen on anybody's face, with her helmet on and her full uniform, and she's got her parachute out kit. And I don't know why these guys why she doesn't have a pistol in her hand, and why the man pilot we just talked about didn't have a pistol in his hand. I know they eject with a pistol, but they were just calming everything down without firearms. And here is the lady crew member, pilot or backseater, and I can't tell which. And she is on the beach, and a man comes rushing out to her, yelling at her with an Arabic accent. And he says, hey, I'm here to, he recognizes right away that she's American. The Iranians don't have women fighter pilots, for one thing. And they don't have women cab drivers or bus drivers because they're misogynistic, racist, anti-Semitic, genocidal, bloodthirsty goblins, kind of like Democrats. They're a lot like Democrats. So here is a woman, a female crew member of one of the F-15s on the beach, and she's standing up, and she looks like she's just fine. She's got her Casio watch on, and when the man comes rushing at her, he's yelling at her, and you can hear the woman and say, oh, I'm fine. And I got to tell you, she looks real casual. She looks relaxed, and the look on her face is great. She's got a huge, broad smile, and I think I emailed this to some military friends yesterday. Look at this woman. She looks like she's pretty cool.
You fine? Really? You need something to help you?
No, I'm okay, she says.
No problem. You're safe. You're safe. Everything good? No problem.
Well, you shouldn't have shot me down.
Helping us.
Thank you for helping us. Thank you for helping us. And the woman is just, she's all smiles, and the guy is rushing over to help, and he speaks English, and is, you're okay? Can I get you something? I'm like, yeah, I'd like a chicken shawarma. Maybe I'm kind of hungry. Been up in the air for a long time. And he's like, thank you. Are you okay? And she didn't say, yeah, I wish you hadn't shot down my $90 million F-15 while I was flying it. But other than that, yeah, I feel fine. But I've got to say, the woman, she doesn't look tall. She doesn't appear to be big and brawny. Seems to be kind of a small woman. And she's in her full flight gear. And the look on her face is just great. She's just got this huge, broad smile. Her eyes are lit up. And she looks relaxed while this guy is rushing at her and yelling, can I help? Can I help? And I guess she decided that they're over friendly territory. No need to draw a pistol and start shooting people. And that's probably just as well. But she looked great. And right on the beach, just on the water's edge, means she probably had to maneuver the parachute over there to make sure she didn't get feet wet. Our friends in Kuwait, the bobbleheads, they shot down 3 F-15 fighter jets, about $90 million each. They'll pay us back, no doubt. They should give these flight crew members, the 6 of them, they should give them each, $10 million or so. I'm saying, hey, so sorry, here's some oil money for you. They really should. If I were advising them, I'd say, you got a PR problem here. Let me help you out with this. Let's go to the telephones. Let's go to Jim, calling from Centerville, Virginia. Jim, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Chris, how are you, sir? Pleasure to speak with you. I'm just a reminder for our audience and some of our friends in D.C. I think Vietnam was not a declared war. We lost 60 to 70,000 of my troops, of my fellow generation over there. And I'm not sure what the threat was either by the Vietnamese. I think they had sticks and stones and the World War I rifles, if I recall. They weren't really heavily armed with nuclear stuff. Can you remind these Democrat fools about that, maybe?
and President and the Democrats, John F. Kennedy, and then the LBJ got us into Vietnam. We had 500,000 men in Vietnam, and that's right, lost more than 59,000 Americans from 1959 to 1975 in an undeclared war. Well, look, the Democrats are the party of war, Jim, as you know.
Absolutely.
The American Civil War, the Democrat president was the president of the Confederate States of America, Jefferson Davis. Getting into World War I, progressive Democrat, racist, segregationist Woodrow Wilson got us into World War I. The progressive Democrat FDR presided over our entry into World War II. And then the Korean War we got into with Harry Truman, Democrat and vice president to FDR. And we got into the Vietnam War, first under JFK a bit, and then really got in up to our eyeballs under Lyndon Baines Johnson, LBJ. And honestly, 9/11 would have never happened had it not been for the Clinton administration building a wall between foreign intelligence and domestic intelligence. Had they been talking to each other over the objections of the Clinton administration, then we would have found the hijackers before 9/11, and we never would have had these wars in the Middle East after 9/11 if the Democrats had not screwed up our intelligence gathering.
Well, absolutely. It's a great summary of all that. But currently, the great JFK and LBJ were the perpetrators of an undeclared war with huge losses and time spent over in Vietnam. And yet they think that what we're doing is such a bad thing, trying to save the world, essentially from nuclear potential destruction with these people over in Iran. The memories are so short that, Chris, it's tragic.
It is, and we don't teach history, not U.S. history. We teach the left teaches a little anti-American history, but they don't teach real American history. And again, Barack Obama bombed Libya for 8 months until it was a regime change war, and Hillary Clinton may remember Benghazi was Hillary Clinton's shining moment during the 8 months of Obama and Biden and Hillary attacking Libya. And Gaddafi is a bad guy, and he's dead now. But they left it in the hands of ISIS and Al-Qaeda, the whole country in the hands of ISIS and Al-Qaeda. Everything the Democrats touch turns to things that you don't want on your dinner plate. I'll just leave it at that. Jim, God bless. Saluting you, my friend.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so, too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Things people don't believe in. Little green aliens. Bigfoot. And that Spectrum TV combines all your favorite streaming apps with live TV at no extra cost. But that one is actually true. You get over $100 worth of streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, AMC Plus, and more, included with live TV at no extra cost. It's only the way TV should be. It's only everything. Learn more at SpectrumTV.com.
It's truck and SUV season at Winter Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Winter Auto Sales, a used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at winterauto.com.
Knock, knock, Capital One Bank guy.
Wow, Charles Barkley?
I just moved into the neighborhood. Can I borrow some Wi-Fi?
Yeah, sure, Chuck. That's what the Capital One Cafe is here for. Open 7 days a week at most locations.
Oh, can I use your ATM? My dog walker only takes cash.
Anything for a neighbor.
Can I try to catch strays?
Sure, take it for a spin.
There's no fees and minimums on Capital One checking accounts.
Nice, Chuck. I'll take it from here. Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Visit CapitalOne.com/bankguide for details. Capital One and name member FDIC.
Not planning today can cost you tomorrow. Stop worrying and start planning with Trajan Wealth. Contact Trajan today at 202-750-3300 or go to TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Hey, Dad, I've been saving up, and I think I'm ready to buy my own car.
Well, son, I think so too. Now, have you thought about how you're going to finance it?
Not really. I really like banking with Northern Credit Union. They offer loans, right?
Well, of course they do. Your mom and I have banked with Northern Credit Union for a long time and have gone through them for a lot of things, like our home improvement loan for the deck we put on last summer. You should really stop in and see them before you shop around.
Yeah, but look, you can apply for a loan right in your Northern Credit Union mobile banking app.
Oh, really? Well, that's convenient. I knew anyone could apply for a loan at mynorthern.com. Looks like they're making it even easier now.
Apply for your next loan with Northern Credit Union online or in mobile banking. Not a member? Not a problem. Apply for your loan on our website at mynorthern.com. New car, used car, first car, home loan, personal loan, we've got you covered. Visit mynorthern.com to learn more. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
Need parts fast? Need them now? O'Reilly is fast. Just one part that makes O'Reilly Auto Parts stand apart. Right now at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts, you can get one free set of brake pads when you buy 2 qualifying brake rotors. Ask the professional parts people about additional brake pad and rotor upgrade options available at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
It's truck and SUV season at Winter Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Winter Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at winterauto.com.
WMAL, making sense of the vote because elections have consequences. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
All right, there is a big news story breaking right about now. The Iranian Supreme Council. I want to be on the Supreme Council. I want to be known as the Supreme Leader, I think. The Iranian Supreme Council, they had gathered today in Tehran, and they were counting the votes. They had a vote. It's like almost like the College of Cardinals in the Vatican, selecting a new pope, and they were selecting a new Ayatollah. The Iranian Supreme Council was counting the votes to appoint the next supreme leader of the nation when, guess what happened? Israel dropped a bomb on it, and it blew up. And suffice to say, they have not selected a new supreme leader. And I've actually got an audio soundbite on you for that, on that topic from the Fox News channel.
I do want to just start with some breaking news here before I show you the scene of one of these cluster munition impacts just outside of Tel Aviv. But I'm told by a senior Israeli official that the Israelis just struck the Supreme Council gathering where the Iranians were meeting to choose a new supreme leader. This is a significant development and again speaks to the Israeli intelligence about this war.
Miso Sali. And you heard that in Tel Aviv, cluster munitions were exploding to kill civilians. So, Solly's.
WMAL, making sense of the headlines, because common sense isn't so common. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
WMAL News at 11. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. A disastrous day on Wall Street as the Dow dropped 1,000 points shortly after the open as oil prices leapt, amid worries that the rise in the war with Iran is widening and may do more sustained damage to the global economy than feared. A reminder, it was just a day ago that U.S. stocks opened with sharp losses, only to recover all of them and end the day with slight gains. Right now, the Dow is down 1,100 points. The NASDAQ is down 531. NASDAQ off more than 2%. Iran continues to target U.S. government buildings across the Middle East as the war grinds on.
We are monitoring more than one diplomatic compound that has either come under fire or is facing the imminent threat of fire. Secretary Rubio is warning the regime to keep their hands off American embassies. Overnight, the embassy in Riyadh struck by enemy fire. 2 drones, at least, striking the compound directly. A State Department official tells us the embassy was blessedly empty at the time due to evacuation orders. No one was injured. Overnight, new departure orders issued for Americans in 14 different countries across the region, directing them to leave via any means necessary due to these surging threats.
Fox News' Gillian Turner. It's been a contentious morning before the Senate Judiciary Committee for DHS Secretary Kristi Rome as her agency remains shut down by Congress with the funding deal.
The latest Democrat-led shutdown of DHS is reckless, it's unnecessary, and it undermines the American national security, and it harms the men and women who work at DHS and their families.
Nome also tussled with Democrats over her handling of the immigration enforcement effort in Minnesota that saw 2 civilians killed by federal agents. Democratic Senator Dick Durbin.
Is it so hard to say you were wrong?
We continue, as these investigations continue to go, we will I absolutely strive to provide factual information, and we'll continue to do that.
And when you fail, do you admit it publicly?
Absolutely. We always know
Will you
that there's
admit it
room
now?
Nome says threats against agents have risen 8,000%. A redistricting bill to give Maryland Democrats a clean sweep in Congress is going nowhere this session, that according to one GOP state delegate.
I believe it's dead. And the reason why it's dead is because we crossed the threshold for candidate filing.
Freedom Caucus member Delegate Matt Morgan telling WMAL's O'Connor and Company.
There's been already a precedent set back in, I believe, the 80s up in New Jersey, where if they change the maps now, it's going to go to federal court because it's influencing a federal election. And if that happens, it's all but dead.
Though a voter referendum backed by Governor Moore has not been ruled out. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
Fairfax County's top prosecutor is again facing accusations for being soft on repeat offenders.
This is the umpteenth time that we've had a repeat violent offender.
Supervisor Pat Harity with WMAL's O'Connor and Company. A recent county murder led to the arrest of Abdul Jallo, a man in the country illegally.
This guy committed over 40 offenses, 5 malicious woundings, and he was released on recognizances as early as January for assault and battery.
While DHS wants the notification before release, Governor Abigail Spanberger is okay with deporting violent criminals in the U.S. illegally, but wants DHS to request a warrant to ensure deportation happens, adds Harity.
People have got to wake up. This is just unacceptable.
Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Checking your money, the Dow is down 1,100 points, the NASDAQ down 517. Traffic and weather next.
Every sandwich has bread, every burger has a bun, but these warm, golden, smooth steam buns, these are special, reserved for the very best. The Filet-O-Fish, and you can have them too.
Don't miss deals like a fillet of fish or 10-piece McNuggets. Get any 2 for just $6 and pair them with $1.39 any size soft drink. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Single item at a regular price.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. It's truck and SUV season at Widget Auto Sales, a used car leader. Just look at the rows of trucks and the rows of SUVs ready for winter, like a Ford F-150 XLT, yours for just $37,999. How about a 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander, just $20,999? Or a beautiful Chevy Truck Z71, yours for $26,999. Rows of trucks and rows of SUVs during truck and SUV season at the veteran-owned Widget Auto Sales, the used car leader in out of Washington Street, or online at widgetautosales.com.
Prime Monday delivery is fast.
How fast are we talking? We're talking game night delivered by tomorrow night fast. So we can win fast. Cards fast, puzzles fast, team games at your door in a day fast. Doesn't matter what the game is, we will dominate fast. We're talking game over, you win fast. Fast one-day delivery for the win. It's on Prime.
That's the sound of a big deal. At Wayfair, that sound happens a lot. Dream sofa for half the price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months? Big deal. Finally, picking up those last few pieces and finishing that bedroom? Now that's a really big deal. Whatever your home needs, Wayfair has the selection, the savings, and over millions of 5-star reviews to back it up. Shop Wayfair.com today before someone else snags your big deal.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
Over to 66 eastbound now. The accident is just before Route 50, Fair Oaks, blocking the right exit lane and the shoulder. So you can get by, but it's going to be slow from the Fairfax County Parkway to past the incident. Inside the Beltway, 66 east is very heavy from Sycamore Street to Spout Run Parkway. I-95 in Virginia will find it a little slow now. Lorton up to the Fairfax County Parkway. Southbound 95 is very heavy across the Purple Heart Bridge down to 123. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, here's the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Occasional rain this afternoon with a high of 45. It is 36 right now at Reagan National. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
How you doing, guys? Well, we're a little disturbed by the developments in the Middle East, but other than that.
Yes. What is that, a 1978 movie? Breaking Away. The more things change and all that. I don't want to work. Democrats are on Capitol Hill. They're disrupting. And they're pro-illegal alien. They really like illegal aliens. Yes, they do. On Capitol Hill today, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem testifying, the Senate Judiciary Committee. And the Senate Judiciary Committee today talking about a whole range of things, and because the DHS Secretary is there, and they've got left-wing radicals like Dickie the Turban from Illinois. I wonder if they bought and sold his Senate seat as they intend to do with Barack Obama's Senate seat. You remember that? The Democrats, they sell these things like third world, tree-dwelling, banana republic lunatics. But that's okay. Today on Capitol Hill, just not so long ago, the DHS Secretary Kristi Noem there, and there was a Democrat in the audience. This is America. People can show up to congressional hearings and here comes a Democrat. You know how they love illegal aliens and gang members, and they love Luigi Mangione, and they making a musical comedy about Luigi Mangione in New York. Already been seen in San Francisco because of the mental illness. But here is the hearing on Capitol Hill, the Senate Judiciary Committee, and DHS Secretary Kristi Noem testifying.
Please go ahead and give your opening statement.
Kristi Noem, you should introduce yourself. I'm a former
Okay. Well.
No,
You should be ashamed of yourself.
you should be ashamed of yourself. Nobody even knows what she's saying. I don't think she knows what she's saying. Something about ICE. ICE is terrible, and gang members are good, especially if they're illegal alien gang members. And Democrats show up for things like this, and they have parents. They were raised maybe by a single parent, probably a single parent, and she was dragged out of the hearing because Democrats, and you know how they are. That wasn't it, because the hearing, you got to drag these people out because they're Banana Republic. They're the third world. The hearing on Capitol Hill, another Democrat.
Do you admit it publicly?
Absolutely. We always know
Will you
that there's
admit it
room
now?
for improvement, that we will.
Steve Porter Jr.
Stop the clock, so.
Steve Porter Jr. and Dr. Linda Davis. They were Americans killed by ICE. You are not doing their family.
Dr. Linda Davis.
Say their names. Their Black Lives Matter.
Say their names. Black Lives Matter. Well, so they just go quiet for a little bit because,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, thank you, Democrats. You people. I went to look for this on Al Gore's amazing internet. As Kristi Noem testifying, heckled, right? And 100 stories came up, more than that, about here's DHS Secretary Kristi Noem gets heckled, leaving ICE hearing, holding her grandchild. But wait, this is from back on December 12th of 2025. That's my birthday. And there's story after story about Kristi Noem being heckled in December. And I was like, hey, wait a minute, that's a different thing. But the mental cases, one of the things that this immediate global communication thing has revealed is how many mentally ill Democrats there are. If you're not mentally ill, you're probably a conservative, and you probably vote Republican, especially now. I think this has been true for a long time, but now more than ever, because you people are really unwell. Yeah, but today, here we go again. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, confrontations with hecklers regarding ICE, because the Democrats are anti-ICE. They want to defund ICE. They want to, they fund Iran, as Barack Obama did, and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton, plane loads of cash on pallets, shrink-wrapped for the Ayatollah to fund the Houthis and Hamas and Hezbollah and blowing up Jewish centers in Buenos Aires, because the Democrats they're just not on the side of Western civilization. And so these hecklers dragged out of the hearing today forcibly because they're violent, criminally insane Democrats. They're mentally ill. Democrats can't be trusted. The car keys or your lunch or anything else. They're unwell. Very, very. Yeah, and I've got to say, my friend Matthew Foldy and I we're friends, and I work with Matthew Foldy at Newsmax TV. We do a TV show together, normally on at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. And Matthew Foldy has interviewed President Trump twice in the last 2 days, yesterday and the day before, interviewed him twice. President Trump never stops talking to the media. Chunk Todd said, oh, yeah, I was on the phone with Trump. And Jake Tapper said, oh, yeah, I was on the phone with Trump. And Brett Baer said, yeah, I was talking to President Trump on the phone. And Matthew Foldy is talking to President Trump in person and on the phone. And President Donald Trump wants Iranian people to, quote, wait a little bit longer before toppling the remaining regime. And that's the headline in Matthew Foldy's story at the Washington Reporter. And several weeks ago, President Trump promised the Iranian people that help is on its way. That's in quotation marks, help is on its way. Over the weekend, that help arrived in droves as part of Operation Epic Fury, a joint U.S.-Israeli operation that killed Iran's Ayatollah and dozens of his possible successors. And then again, they were meeting just an hour ago or so to choose a new Ayatollah, and oops, that got blown up by an Israeli airstrike. Following the attack, President Trump warned Iran's remaining leadership to ease cessations or they will be hit harder than they have been hit before. But the leaders refused, and Trump told the Washington Reporter in his latest interview that we're hitting them really hard. And also, they're saying that the biggest hit for Iran has not been delivered yet. and that this could go on for 4 or 5 weeks. And we'll see if it does go on that long, but that is preparing the public perceptions, saying ahead of time how long it might go on. Again, Barack Obama told us that the Libya campaign he said that it would last days, not weeks, and then it lasted 8 months, and the news media just forgot that he said that. But the president has noted that the big one has yet to come in terms of defending the Iranian people from their brutal government. Consequently, he's told the reporter that the Iranian people, quote, should wait until, listen to this, wait until the herd thins out a little bit. Listen to that, the president. Wait until the herd thins out a little bit. They should wait a little bit longer, end quote. That's what the president said. That's kind of a big deal. And then today, Israel hit Iran when they're having their meeting to choose a new Ayatollah. And so the people next in line might be looking for someone else now, because these are the radical Islamists that have been running the Islamic Revolution in Iran since 1979, and they've been blowing things up and murdering people ever since. The Democrats are okay with that, though. President Trump said, I didn't terminate what I call the Obama nuclear deal, the Iran nuclear deal. Iran would have had a nuclear weapon full size 3 years ago, he said, if I didn't terminate the Obama nuclear deal. It was the worst nuclear deal ever. The JCPOA, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, that allowed Iran to continue to spin centrifuges, to continue to enrich uranium. And they enriched uranium to 60% purity. You want about 90% purity for a nuclear weapon, but once you have 60% purity, you could accelerate the enrichment and get to 90% within a couple of weeks, and then you're weapon ready, nuclear weapon ready. And Obama and John Kerry told the Iranians to go ahead and keep spinning centrifuges underground, deep underground, continue to enrich uranium and continue to extend your ballistic missile range at the same time. Isn't that crazy? Matthew Foldy also with another story. President Donald Trump says countries targeted by Iran, quote, will be able to get even. And Matthew Foldy, in a separate interview with the president in the Washington Reporter, says, the president says they'll be able to get even, but they know that. He told the Washington Reporter, and Matthew Foldy said really, really bad stuff that they're doing. Iran's remaining leaders have attacked American allies throughout the region in the aftermath of President Trump's historic successful Operation Epic Fury. So the president communicating through Matthew Foldy and the Washington Reporter to the people of Iran, hang in there. All right? Yes, sir. So let's go to some audio here. President Trump, President of the United States, Commander-in-Chief of the U.S. military, and on Iran. This is yesterday, the President of the United States, where we are and how things are going.
We have the strongest and most powerful by far military in the world, and we will easily prevail. We're already substantially ahead of our time projections, but whatever the time is, it's okay, whatever it takes. We also projected 4 weeks to terminate the military leadership, and as you know, that was done in about an hour, so we're ahead of schedule there by a lot.
By a lot. We're ahead of schedule on terminating the Islamic Republic, the Islamist terrorist state of Iran, and the leadership that, again, has been in charge there since I was a teenager, and they were born of a crime against humanity, attacking the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, taking hostages, holding them for 444 days, releasing them only when Ronald Reagan was inaugurated on January 20th, 1981. And Jimmy Carter, his weaknesses allowed all of that to happen. The backdrop Barack Obama, weakness, Joe Biden, weakness, Joe Biden in the White House, Putin attacked Ukraine, Hamas attacked Israel, slaughtered, committed that horrific massacre, and the hostages and killed Americans. And in fact, it was the biggest radical Islamic terrorist attack on Americans since September 11th, the October 7th attack in Israel. President Trump has said, hey, look, we're ahead of schedule. Things are going well. Vice President of the United States is J.D. Vance. Chunk Todd says the attack on Iran means that J.D. Vance's chances for becoming president of the United States are over with. The left-wing media, just the propaganda that they're not even aware of it half of the time. And the other half of the time, they are aware of it. Vice President J.D. Vance.
There's just no way that Donald Trump is going to allow this country to get into a multi-year conflict with no clear end in sight and no clear objective. He's defined that objective as Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon and has to commit long-term to never trying to rebuild their nuclear capability.
Seems reasonable, I think. And I got to say, at Columbia University, their anti-Israel group is posting Marg Bar America, that's death to America, at Columbia University. That's what they're doing at Columbia University. Yep. I've got more. I've got Raisin Kane and Marco Rubio coming up. Abortion moves fast. And right now, some young women are being pressured to make an irreversible decision in moments of fear and panic. They're told to act quickly to, risk losing support from the Democrats if they don't. A lot of people feel they have no other option but to choose abortion. But because of you, they do have other options at Preborn's network of clinics. A woman receives what the abortion industry will never offer: compassion without pressure and options. A young woman is given a free ultrasound at Preborn and space to breathe with people that provide support. And more than 80% of the time, when a young mother sees her baby on a preborn ultrasound, she chooses life. This March, Preborn wants to help save 6,800 babies this month alone. But it's going to take 124 partners saying yes every day. Now, here's my request to you. Pause your busy day for just a moment and become a yes for today. Become a yes right now. Just $28 provides one ultrasound, and $140 provides 5 ultrasounds for 5 mothers. Every dollar helps save babies and helps to share hope. To donate, all you have to do is dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby when prompted. That's pound 250. The keyword is baby. Or visit Al Gore's amazing internet at preborn.com/plant. That's preborn.com/PLANTE. Yes, sir. Yeah, the Democrats are doing everything they can to undermine President Trump and the United States and the U.S. military on behalf of the Islamic terror regime, the Islamic Republic.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
Prime one-day deliveries fast. How fast we talking? We're talking tissues and hot tea fast. Feel better meds fast. Relieving your door fast, so you can actually breathe out of both nostrils.
All right, I have things to do.
Already here fast. Fast one-day delivery to feel better sooner.
Had a nice breakfast, ribs.
That's the sound of a big deal.
Bye.
That sound
I'm leaving. I'll be back later.
The price? Big deal. New dining table you've been eyeing for months?